welcome you all. Today we are going to discuss about another important topic of human resource management, that is management development. In this concept, we are going to learn about what are the various objectives of management development. Before that, meaning and definition of management development. Along with that, what are the essential ingredients that are included in management development program, and the various methods or techniques which are used to train managers in the organization. And finally, we discuss the classification of development methods according to their purpose. These are all the contents we are going to discuss in today's class. And before seeing the meaning of management development, let us know some brief about management development. Why management development? Because on the previous concept, we are discussed training and what are the various training methods which are used in a organization. Training which enhances knowledge, skills and abilities of employees in the organization. Then again, why management development programs are going to be conducted in a organization? The reason is training will be given only for employees, that too non-managerial and technical people. But whereas management development programs are given for the managerial cadre people to improve their conceptual and behavioral skills. Moreover to that, whatever the training budget that is allocated by the organization, 37%, that means out of 100%, suppose if the company is allocated for the financial year near about 5 crores for training program and all, in that 5 crores budget, 37% of the amount is used for management development aspects. Why management development? Because earlier the managers are required to monitor the performance of the employees so that the training programs are given. Later on, due course of doing things in the organization, the work of managers also increases. How it is increased means they are not only managing the employees' work, even after there are additional responsibilities also added. Those are to motivate the employees. Those who are not performing well, for them, they are going to motivate in the organization. That is reason the organization is focusing not only on enhancement of skills of employee, even they're enhancing the knowledge and skills of managers also. And the concept of management development was developed because earlier days there is the orientation of the companies is only the owner will be taking care. Nowadays the owner doesn't interfere in the functional activities of the organization. For that, the owner is recruiting professional on the particular field. To recruit those particular professionals or the particular managers, definitely there is a requirement of management development. That means the proprietorship companies are changed into the professionally managed companies. That is what management development is necessary in today's competitive world, business world, and at the same time to get a competitive advantage from other competitors. Definitely management development programs are very much essential in the organization. That is all about introduction of management development. Let us see the meaning of management development. Management development is a long-term process. It's a long-term process, and through which it is a involves systematic and organized. That means whatever that are going to be discussed, it is going to be clearly mentioned. And by conducting these kind of programs, the managerial persons are going to learn about managerial skills and knowledge for general purpose. See, the purpose is general. There is no a specific purpose to do the particular work by the managers in the organization. Whatever the skills they are going to be learned, those skills are going to be used for general purpose. The meaning of management development is it's a long-term process by which it involves a systematic and organized procedure where managerial persons are going to be learned managerial skills and knowledge for general purpose. And why it is mentioned long term? Because these programs are 3 to 5 years sometimes, not less than 2 years. These programs are not less than 2 years. More than 2 years the programs will be there, or sometimes 1 year the programs will be there. Whereas training will be very short. It will be a 2 weeks or 2 days or sometimes 1 week. That is what the duration of training programs are. They are very short in nature, but whereas management development programs for a longer period of time to improve the skills of the managers in the organization. Next we will see what is the definition of management development. According to the words of Gary Dessler, he defines management development is an attempt to improve managerial performance. Management development is an attempt to improve managerial performance by imparting knowledge, changing attitudes, and or increasing skills. Almost all. It is also similar to a training. There also they are going to be impart some knowledge and skills. Here also the knowledge is very very important to do the particular work. Apart from the knowledge, they are looking about changing attitudes. Changing attitudes. Because due course of working in the organization, sometimes the managers are going to promote to the higher level positions in the organization. Once they are reached to their higher level position, automatically there is a chance to show their bossism. That means automatically they use it to change in terms of the way they are behaving in the organization. Before promotion, they are very easily mingle with all the employees, and once they got the promotion, definitely they are going to show the authority, and they are not in a position to listen what the subordinates are saying. This is wrong as per as concern of a manager's part, because as a manager, first he have to give the preference to his subordinates. If sometimes if they are come across any problems and all, he has to listen. Then only he has to reply whatever the subordinates are saying. But many managers, because of the ego and because of the status, or sometimes they will be having some kind of threat for their positions, so that they don't want to listen what other people are saying. Those kind of autocratic management leadership style won't be fetch any good result. Though it will be given good results at short term, long run, they use it to fail. That is what they have to understand the attitudes, how the people are behaving. First, they are in a position. If they are not in a position to listen, how the subordinates they will learn. That is the reason why changing attitudes also taken into the one of the consideration for improving the skills of a manager. Along with that, their skills are going to be improved. That is what all about management development. It is an attempt to improve managerial performance by imparting, by giving different kind of knowledge, or changing their attitude, or increasing their skills. That is all about management development definition. Now let us see what are the various objectives of management development program. The various objectives, the ultimate objective, before going to see the various objectives, the ultimate objective of management development programs are to enhance the performance of the managers. Along with that, organizational efficiency is also going to increase. That is what the major objective of management development. Apart from that, the other objectives are to overall the management machinery. To overall the management machinery. Overall means repair or renovate, because as per organization concerned, if they are having a different kind of a managerial level position in the company, if the company is going to have any kind of a strategic change in their company, like they are merging with other company or they are taking over the other company. At that time they will check whether existing manpower is fit for the job or not. If they are not fit for the job, again they are taking the necessary measures to renovate or re-engineer the employee skills. Second, to improve the performance of the managers. Ultimately, if managers are not performing well, how they can in turn ask their subordinates to do work in the company. That's what the organization gives development programs to improve the performance of the managers. And third, to give specialists an overall view of the functions of an organization. Earlier, the general manager will be there who knows all the functional aspects of the organization and he can manage the things. But nowadays, because of changing organization structure, there are various levels are increased both in terms of line management and staff management. So different functional specialists are required in the organization. By giving management development programs, we can increase the number of specialists in our company based on their specialization. Next, it's identify the persons with the required potentials and prepare them for higher level jobs. For suppose any vacancies are vacant in a manager cadre and all, the management of the concerned organization or the company, they won't go and recruit the people from outside. First, they will check the inventory of managers in the organization. After that, if any person is not fit for that particular position, then only they will go for the outside. So, to overcome that particular problem, that means to go and search the outside people, they can search or identify the persons within the organization for senior positions in the company. Next, to increase the morale and versatility, to increase the motivation levels, because those who are working in the organization, if you give them promotion, automatically their confidence levels and their enthusiasm levels are increased. Automatically they can perform very well, and their versatility, that means the skills are also going to be increased. The members who are attending for the management development programs, their skills also going to be increased. Next is to keep executives abreast. Abreast in the sense updated. If any sort of changes that are happened in the market, based on the changes in the market, we have to change our executives' knowledge levels also. Then only we are in the race, or else we are out of the competition. And the last one is, it motivates. The development programs are going to motivate the creative thinking of individual. That means we are going to encourage the managers, if they are coming up with any new ideas and all, we have to encourage, and that ideas are going to be discussed among the group of members, and which is best suitable for the organization strategies that we have to follow. These are the various objectives of management development. Next, we will see what are the essential ingredients of management development programs, or what are the various steps involved in management development program. There are 6 steps which involved in management development program. Those are, first we have to analyze or analysis of organization present development needs. That means at present what sort of candidates or what sort of manager skill that are available in our company, and is there any requirement for the development of the managers, that we have to analyze. That's what analysis of organizational present development needs. That means, is that our managerial capital or our managerial persons are competitive enough with the changes that what are happening in the market or not. That they have to check, analyze. That is the first step. And after as analyzing the organizational present development needs, the second step is appraisal of present management talent. We have to appraise in the sense assessment. We have to assess how far the managers having the talent, if any kind of new technology or new method or any other business diversifications are going to take place, how far the people are going to be coping up with the competition, that we have to appraise the present management talent, and after appraising, now we have to check how much inventory. Of course, inventory means stock, but whereas here inventory means manpower stock. That means manpower in terms of a quantity. How many members are there in the particular specialization? Suppose marketing, how many managers are there? HR, how many? Finance, how many managers? Like that, the inventory of management manpower has to known. After knowing that, we are going to plan of individual development program. What sort of development programs are going to be taken care based on the manpower that are available in the organization. Suppose if 10 or 15 people are available with a different specialization, we cannot give all the people the same sort of development programs, because one size doesn't fit for all, or one development program cannot suitable for all the requirements. That training program should be a tailor-made. It depends upon the specialization or depends upon the level of management. The training programs, they use it to change. Next, after planning the individual development program, the next step is establishment of development program. Here, what kind of development programs that we are going to be considered, and the various development programs are categorized into on the job and off the job. Those programs or those different methods we will see in the next slide. And last, after implementing the various programs and all, it is the responsibility of the management or the concerned development program instructor to check how far the development programs are getting the output. That is what he is going to evaluate the program. Before attending the program, what sort of skills that the managers are having, and after attending or after undergone for the management development program, whether their skills are improved or not, that they have to check. This is called, in a training program we are calling a pre-test training and post-test training or post-training tests. Pre-training test, post-training test. Likewise, here also, pre-management development test and post-management development test. Is there any improvements and all that we have to take care? If not, where the corrections are required, that we have to check. These are the 6 different sort of steps involved in management development program. Next is the very, very important aspect of the topic, an examination point of view, is what are the various methods and techniques in management development program. Those programs or those methods or techniques are categorized into on the job and off the job. And what is on the job? On the job methods are, while the managers are performing work on the particular organization, then and there itself they use it to give the training on the particular areas. That's what it is called on the job methods. Off the job, apart from normal work area, whatever the training or development program they are giving to the managers concerned, that is called as a off the job methods. That's what, based on the place where they are giving, whether they are giving at a workplace or whether they are giving apart from the normal workplace, these methods are categorized in terms of on the job and off the job. And off the job, on the job, they are categorized into 4 different methods, and these methods are not limited. It's all depends upon the organization. They can use any of the methods. Those methods are coaching method, job rotation, understudy, and multiple management. And the off the job methods are case study method, role play, in-basket method, business games, institute training, simulation method, managerial grade, conference, and even the lecturers. These are the various sort of methods where the companies are using, but a single company cannot use all the methods. It's all depend upon the requirement or the need of the concerned organization. They can use any of the training methods, and sometimes the companies, they can use the internal trainers, and as per as the organization or the survey conducted, most of the organizations are depending for management development program by outside experts. Because outside experts, they are coming up with new knowledge and all, so that our managerial manpower also learn some new skills, so that they are in turn improve the organizational efficiency. And now we will see the various methods one by one, the on the job methods. First, the coaching. Here, coaching means a supervisor is going to be given advices or suggestions. Already the manager is having one or the other potential or skills he is having. And to improve that, a supervisor concerned is going to give some kind of advices or suggestions, how far he is going to perform better than what he performed at present. According to the survey conducted by ICF, International Coach Federation, there are more than 4,000 companies are using coaching for their executive. That means this coaching method is used by more than 4,000 companies, and it was identified by the survey International Coach Federation. And during this method, they are testing to motivate the employees or executives for better performance, and they will coach, and the potentials are going to be identified and develop the people in terms of their skill, and proper enough support will be given by the supervisor, and the knowledge levels are going to be enhanced, and if they are facing any kind of problems, they use it to give a advice. And of course, not all the things are done to all the employees or the executives. Depend upon the requirement, they can give one or the other aspects into a consideration, and in that they are going to be a concentrate. And as we discussed that, these kind of coaching programs are going to be done by the experts. Mostly they are going to be from outside consultants. Right. This is all about the coaching method. Next, job rotation. In this job rotation, already we are seeing what is meant by job rotation. Job rotation means movement of employee from one job to the another job in the organization. That means the employee is not stick on to the same job for a longer period of time, because to improve the knowledge or to enhance the knowledge of particular manager in different aspects, to rotate. That means if he is working in a particular department, and after 2 to 3 years again he will be moved to the another job. Suppose after working in 2 to 3 years, he will be moved to the production. For suppose the basic department is the HR department. Later on, after working in the production, they will be moving to the marketing. Like that, for a period of 10 years, if he is staying in the organization, he is going to know all the aspects or all the functional aspects of the particular organization, how the things are going on in the company. That is what the job rotation is very, very helpful, and it is particularly useful for development of diversified skills. See here, the movement from one department to other department. That means there is no relation. HR is different department, production is different department, marketing is different department. That means they should have a diversified skills, and to give the executives a broader outlook. And to give executives to broader outlook, which are very important for them to go for a higher level positions. Next, the major benefits of this job rotation program is identification of KSAs that are required, the knowledge, skills and abilities, and broaden those KSA, knowledge, skills and abilities by working in different departments and the various business units that the company is having and the various functions. Departments, we know that various departments. Business units means the same company, if it is a large organization, they will be having different kind of business units. Example, if you take HUL, HUL is having a food unit, food processing product, and it is also having detergents or shampoo or FMCG products also, and it is also having this water purifiers. Each and every business is not related to the one or the other. Though it is not related to the one or the other, all the products are belong to the same umbrella of the particular HCL. That's what here they are going to sometimes change from one business unit to the other business unit. For suppose he is working for 2 to 3 years in FMCG products. Later on he is moving to the water purifiers. Later on he is moving to the other department. After certain period of time, he knows the knowledge of all the business operations that the company is doing. Next is it determines the areas where the improvement is required. That means it is going to be identified where the improvements are required so that the particular employee is going to be rotated. See here the diagram. After working in 2 to 3 years, he will be rotated to the different department. Later on, he will be rotated. And finally, again, he will become and occupies the same position. Or else, if the company is having any requirement of particular positions or jobs are vacant, these employees is going to place into the upper managerial levels. That is called succession planning. That is what the ultimate benefit of job rotation. Next method is understudy method. Understudy. The name itself indicates that the executive or the manager is undergone for the training or the supervision by the superior. The superior is going to be impart one or the other knowledge to his assistant. See here. He is a subordinate and he is a supervisor or a managerial cadre, higher managerial cadre level. And he always giving the instructions to the lower level executive. If one or the other, next he is going to be left the organization or he will be retired from the services, definitely these particular individual will be replacing the position of this supervisor. That is what the understudy method helps. Next is multiple management method. This multiple management, or it is also called as a junior board of executive system, where the junior board of group of people are going to be given any problem, and each and every problem the managers they are going to be seeing in broader perspective, that narrow shells, and help them. That means each and every problem they will be going looking into the very narrow, and they will check that where the problems are going to be happen. That's what the technique is mainly useful in bringing the managers out of their narrow shells. That means the broader aspect of the particular manager is going to be increase. It ultimately improves the teamwork, because some executive people will be there. They are excellent in performing their tasks, but they are unable to maintain a good relation, or they are unable to express their views with the others. At that time, these kind of multiple management or junior board executive systems are helpful to mingle with one or the other in the organization and to discuss with the people and then increase their knowledge levels. That is what about understudy method and multiple management. It is also called as junior board executive system. And the next we are going to discuss what are the various off-the-job methods. In this off-the-job methods, the first one is a case study. Case study is a written document which are going to have various kind of problems, and the managers are going to be asked to assess, having a proper thorough analysis or research of the data given for them, and they have to find out the best solution. And these methods are description of management problems or situations as viewed by the presented to a decision maker, and this method was developed in the year 1880 by Christopher Langdell. In the year 1880, this method was developed by Christopher Langdell to identify the decision making skills or judgment skills or problem identification skills of a employee or executives in the organization, and the various sort of aspects which they are going to be considered in this case study method is they are going to be thorough assess or thorough research of the particular problem, and whatever the data they are going to given, the data they will be collected, or if the data is not sufficient, they will collect more and more data, and they will check what are the various conditions and why the problem is going to be occurred in the company, and thorough examination They are going to be such why these problems are going to be occurring, and what are the various methods that they are going to be used to resolve the problem. If not, they are not identified, they are going for a in-depth analysis, and they will be having proper analyzing. After getting in-depth analysis, they are going to analyze proper aspects or proper problem, and finally they will coming up with the output, or it is also called as a result. That is what the case methods are going to be used. Next is the role play method. These role play methods are very helpful to know that how far the employees or how far the executives are maintaining interpersonal relations. See, in this approach, a problematic situation is simulated by asking the participants to assume the role of a particular persons. That means they will be given one situation and they are going to ask to play the particular role of a character of the particular problem, and how they are maintaining the relations with the other people, that they are going to be identified. And this method was developed by Morney. The role play method was developed by Morney. And how to make this role play methods very effective? See, when they are conducting this role play, they are not giving any time, and even they won't ask or they won't give any sort of dialogues also to the concerned employee. On the spot, they used to prepare themselves, and they are going to act according to the situation. And what are the various sort of aspects which we have to consider to make this role play very effective? Ensure the members of the group are comfortable with each other. They are comfortable with each other. That's what whenever this program is conducted, first they will be having a ice breaking session where they will be knowing one or the other individuals in the organization. Next, select the players by introducing the situation. It is the instructor role that before playing the role play, he has to give some kind of instructions about the particular situation and prepare and ask the participants to describe their characteristics. See, some people, even in colleges also, whenever we are asking them to have any kind of role play, because we will give a situation in advance, and if you ask them to have such a role play in the class, they are directly going into the roles, and whoever the audience are there, they are not in a position to understand what these people are doing and all. That is what, when we are given any kind of role play, or if they are asking for to enact any sort of situation, we have to introduce ourselves and what are the characters involved in the particular role play, so that the audience also will be having some clarity, or the instructor is also having some of the clarity, so that he can identify, okay, how far depends upon the position and all, whether they are maintaining that kind of stature or not, or as per the position and all, they are maintaining that particular dignity levels or not. That can be clearly indicates, and volunteers may make better role play, because it all depends. If one person is coming and all, if any person can do better than the people who performed well, they can come and perform over there and prepare the observers and give them a specific task. Even when 2 or 3 people are performing the role play, and remaining who are watching this role play, we have to give some sort of task, or else they won't concentrate what these people are doing here. That is why, to make the role play session very lively, we have to give the task to other people, and after completion of this role play, we have to ask what their observations and all. Next, guide the role play enactment, because sometimes even the executives or the students, they doesn't know how to perform and all. It is the duty of the instructor how to perform the role play and all. We have to guide if any of the executives are not in a position to start, because to make them encouraging, we have to push them to perform the task. Next, keep it very short. There is no lengthy role plays. We are not doing any kind of drama or thing. Simply we are going to understand what kind of relations they are going to be maintaining with one another. So the role plays are very short, and evaluate the objective, which is attainment after conducting this role play or not. That is what the role plays are going to be conducting to know about the interpersonal relations in the organization. After this case study and role play, the next methods of the job method is in basket method, business games, sensitivity training, and simulation method. Here in basket method, they will be given different kind of problems and ask them to pick the problem and to resolve the solution. And each and every one, they are going to pick one or the other problem and they can do the things what is going to be happening. Like that, each and every one is going to be given some kind of problem description there, and they have to identify how far they are going to come up with the decisions and all. That is what in basket method. Second, business game. In this business game, various techniques they are going to be used, and in order to develop their ability, organizational ability, and how far they are responding, whether they are quickly responding or not, and it is also tested to know about the leadership. Like in business games, like group discussion method or simulation methods, all are comes under the business games. Sometimes even teamwork or team building games also they are going to be conducted. Likewise, there are number of games that we are going to be conducted. That means all the people are going to be given a balloon, and the instructor will tell that who is going to have the balloon at last, they are the winners. Now everyone is going to be rushing to blast one or the other people's balloon and all. And after blasting all the balloons, no one will be having a balloon. That means there they are going to be identified that if they people are confident enough not to break others, all the people will be having a same sort of balloon. That's what they are going to be conducted this business games on spot. How? They are going to be conducted in the organization, and the knowledge levels also going to be tested on the spot. Next is sensitivity training. Sensitivity training is helpful how far the individual is known about himself and how he is going to be open with the other. That means some people are very sensitive with some of the minute issues, so that they will be given proper enough training on the sensitive issues, and this helps to know more about himself. Sometimes we doesn't know about our core sense and all, and after attending for these training programs, we can actually know what are our core sense and all, known about himself and impact of his behavior on others. Sometimes some people they doesn't know how to talk with the others, even they are at a manager level also. That's what the sensitivity method will helps what he, that means they are knowing about himself and how his behavior is going to impact on others, which are very important for a manager to have a better performance from the employees in the organization. And the last method is simulation method. And in this simulation method, they are going to have a problem solving through decision making can be developed quite well with the help of a simulation. Simulation in the sense they are going to be created. They are going to be created a artificial atmosphere of the work environment. Like in a training program we have seen NASA or even aircraft, they are going to be given a training on artificial setup of the machinery and all, and they use it to train. Here also actual situations are not given. They are going to give an imaginary situation, and there they are going to be a act, and they are going to solve the problem. That is what a simulation method. And apart from these, there are other three methods are there in the of the job management development. Those are managerial grid. This managerial grid method helps to develop leadership qualities for the executives over a long period of time. That means this program will be last for 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, and this managerial grid training program will be having a 6 sort of steps. It will be starts with upgrading managerial skills and continues whether he is developed in the group or not, and how far he is going to be maintaining intergroup relations in the fellow employees, and whether he is into the corporate planning or not, and develop the implementation part, and finally it ends up with the evaluation phase. That means right from upgrading the managerial skills to group development, inter group development, and how he involved in a corporate planning and the implementation part, and finally evaluation. This is what all the course of action, whether he is going to come up with any kind of development in the organization or not, that we can identify through this managerial grid method. And the next is, of course, the students are well aware of these two methods, conference method and lecture methods, where they are going to learn different knowledge and skills. And even for faculty members like us, we are also undergone for various sort of development programs, and it is called as FDP, Faculty Development Program. Depends upon the specialization we will undergo. Research is for common for all the specialization people, whereas finance, it is only core for the finance people, or marketing specialization or marketing faculty, he will go for the marketing conferences, or even HR faculty, they will go for HR. Sometimes if they want to develop in their career, they are going to learn about other concepts also. As a HR, he can learn about the finance. As a finance, he can learn about the marketing. They are going to be a multi-task oriented. In all the areas they are going to develop. And conferences, it is where the people are going, and like-minded people are going to come together, and they are going to share their knowledge levels. And they are going to, after attending the conferences, they can change their attitudes when needed in the interest of the organization. Again, some organizations are allowing their employees to attend for the conferences also, where after attending the conferences they can learn some inputs so that they can really implement the same for the performance of the organization, for enhancement, so that the company will grow and the employee skills are also going to increase. Last one is a lecture method. This is the best technique to give more knowledge, and it is useful for a large group of populations. That's what these are the various sort of methods in the of the job. And next we are going to see what are the classifications of development methods according to the purpose. Now we have seen number of methods and techniques. Now those techniques we are going to be classified according to their purpose. Now we will see the purpose we have taken into 6 categories: the job knowledge, organizational knowledge, general knowledge, decision making skills, interpersonal skills, and specific individual needs. In this, the job knowledge methods which we are going to be used to gain the job knowledge, we are going to use on the job experience method, coaching method, or understudy method. If the employee wants to increase or know about the organization, we are going to conduct job rotation and multiple management method. General knowledge purpose, special courses they are going to be given to the employees, and at the same time they can go for conference. These special courses also called as, they are going to be conducted in terms of lecture method, or they are going to go for even training by the outside. Especially if you see the software industry people, if any sort of new course is coming up or new platform is coming up nowadays, Python, all the software employees they used to learn, whether they can learn online or they can go to the institution, they can learn the specific or special courses. Decision making skills like in basket method, business games, case study methods they used to conduct to check the decision making skills of the employees. And interpersonal skills, they are going to conduct role playing and sensitivity training, how far they are maintaining relations with the others. And the last one is specific individual needs. It's all depends upon the individual requirement. They are conducting committee assignments, and even a specific or special project aspects also they will consider. These are the various sort of purpose and the types of methods which are used in the organization. Before concluding this topic, let us see what are the various aspects that we have covered in today's session. Meaning and definition of management development. After that, what are the various objectives of management development, and essentials or the various steps that are required in a management development aspect. What are the various methods or techniques in management development, and the development methods categorized according to their purpose. Before concluding this, Let us see the quotation given by Zig Ziglar. He defines that, he given, you don't build a business. You don't build a business. That means the management cannot build a business. Ultimately, what they have to do in the sense, you build the people. You build the people in the sense, you are going to develop your people. Ultimately, those people are going to build the business. That's what management development training programs are very essential, so that when people are developed, automatically the company will develop. Thank you very much.
As one of the premium B schools of the country, AGBS has been producing a lot of business leaders across the globe.
AGBS is a great place for learning with its unique teaching pedagogy, and it is also able to transform its students into intellectual professionals.
It was a great time we spent in AGBS. The campus environment is very positive. I thanks to AGBS and faculties for putting in all efforts to make us groom and make us corporate professionals.
AGBS library represents rich repository of books, journals and periodicals covering all the areas of management to meet the needs of student, faculty and research scholars from allied areas.
No doubt, I made my best choice in my career. AGBS presents you limitless opportunities to enhance your career prospects.
An extraordinary college life, well supported by activities of par excellence that helped me to become what I am today.
I believe that there has been a significant and remarkable shift in my orientation after attending the yoga sessions at AGBS. Thank you for being such an amazing catalyst.
At AGBS, we believe in success by how successful our students are. In the year 2019, our students have achieved unparalleled achievements by getting a highest package of 12 lakh per annum, and also more than 80% of the students secured a job. This has never been seen or heard by business school running in two-tier city like Kakinada.
Corporate networking and mentoring has developed our students and improved their knowledge, skill and attitude. I am very fortunate enough to get highly dedicated, talented and committed faculty members.
We impart education through a fine blend of theory and practice. Real-time situations created through management games, case studies, group discussions and panel discussions helps the students relate concepts to practice.
I got placed in Infosys. It is because of the efforts made by the faculty, trainee and placement cell, which always make sure that the student get placed in the best company in the market.
AGBS is a place where your voice is heard and your opinion counts. The education imparted gives us confidence and direction towards a successful career.